Hey guys, welcome to Homework Help for Year 5, Week 9. On page 7, question 1. An airplane flies with a constant speed of 600 kilometers per hour. So we're given the speed, 600. How long would it take? How long is asking you for the time. So time we don't know, that's what we'll find out. Take the travel distance of 750 kilometers. So distance given to us to be 750. Now remember the triangle. You got distance divided by speed times time. To find the time, we just cover up the time, we cross out the time, and you can see that distance is divided by speed. So time is equal to distance divided by speed, which equals to distance here is 750. Speed here is 600. Okay, simplify this. We can cross out the zeros. And we're going to have 7, so that's equal to 75 over 60. Let's simplify that. Divide top and bottom by 5. You're going to get 15 over 12. Divided by 5 again. Divided by 3 this time, sorry. And you're going to get 5 over 4. So the time is going to be 5 over 4 hours. So this is equal to 5 over 4 hours. But let's change it into mixed numeral, which is 1 1/4 hour. Or you could write that as 1 hour and 15 minutes. They're the same thing. Because 1/4 of an hour is actually 15 minutes. So either answer would be good. Okay, that one's, I'll give you the answer for that one. Number 2. A taxi hurries with a constant speed. So speed again is given to be 64. Okay, how long would it take? So how long, which means we're looking again for time. To take a travel distance of 32 kilometers. So distance is equal to 32. Again, we just cross out the t. We get distance to t. Time equals to distance divided by speed, which equals to distance here is 32. Speed here is 64. Okay, work that out. And that will be in terms of hours. Whatever amount there, whatever fraction you get, that'll be in terms of hours. Alright, you can work that out. Next page. Question 1, where find speed when distance, so speed, now let's draw a little triangle here to help remind us that distance and then speed times time at the bottom. So to find speed, we cross out this, we cross out the speed, and you have distance divided by time from looking from this at this angle. Okay. So speed is equal to distance over time. The distance is given to us as 142. Time is given to us as 2 hours. So therefore 142 divided by 2. And that'll give you the speed per hour. You have to find out the speed. I'm not going to write it for you. Question 2. Find out the distance covered when speed is 960. So speed is given here as 960 kilometers an hour, and the time is 1 hour and 50 minutes. The time is given to be 1 hour and 50 minutes. Now, 1 hour and 50 minutes, I want to write that as a fraction. So what we're going to do is, this is 1 hour, so that's just 1. Now 50 minutes, I want to write that as a fraction. So 50 minutes over the total minutes will be 60 minutes. Okay, now this 50 minutes is gonna be, let's cross out the zeros, and that's gonna be the same as 5 on 6 of an hour, 5/6 of an hour. So 1 hour and 5/6 of an hour. So 1 and 5/6 of an hour. All right, so the time is 1 and 5 on 6. Now, find a distance. And distance is equal to what? So let's look at this triangle. As we can see here, if we cover up the distance, we can see that we need to do speed times time. Okay, so that's speed times time. So you can work it out there, and that's going to be speed, which is 960, times time, which is 1 and 5/6. Now to multiply this, okay, we know that 960 is a whole number, so 960 on 1 times. Now 1 and 5/6, we need to turn this into an improper fraction. You can't just leave it like that. So this will be 1 times 6 is 6, plus 5 is 11, 11 on 6. So you can, I don't know, maybe simplify this one, divide this one by maybe 6, and divide this one by 6, and you can get, I'm not going to do it for you, you can just work it out there. Okay, so you get some number, and the question was looking for distance. So whatever here, you have to be, it'll be in kilometers. So work it out what this amount is there. Okay. Question 3, determine the time taken when distance is, so the time taken. So we're looking for, how come it's not working? Okay. So looking for the time. So to find time, let's have a look at this triangle. We cover up the time, we get distance divided by speed. So distance divided by speed. What's the distance given to us? The distance is this amount, which is 7,150 divided by the speed. And the speed is 780. The first thing we should do is we can get rid of the zeros. One from the top, one from the bottom. So now we have to say how much 78 is in 715. Well, we know that 78, whoops, wrong color. We know that 78 times 10 is equal to 780. So it can't be, so when you do 715 divided by 78, we can't have 10. Okay, so let's try 9. 9 times 78. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 7 is 63. 63 plus 70 is 70. So we can use this one. So we can say that's 9. And this will be 702. Take it away, and what do you get? You get 13. That means when you divide this, you're going to get 9, remainder 13. 13 over 78. All I did was changed it from improper fraction into a mixed numeral. Okay, now. Okay, now let's see. Can we simplify this? I want to try and simplify this. Let's see. Can 13 fit into 78 somehow? Let's try. 13. If I multiply by maybe 6, I might get 78. Let's try. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 is 7. That means it's 78. So that means that 13 fits into 78 6 times. So we can just divide this by 13. This will be 1. Divide this by 13, you get 6. So now the answer is 9 and 1 on 6. What was the question asking for? Asking for the time. And this will have to be in terms of hours, because we're dealing with hours here. So this is 9 and 1/6 hour. Now we know that 1/6 hour is 1/6 of an hour. An hour has 60 minutes. So what's 1/6 of 60? That's 60 divided by 6, which is 10. So that's 10 minutes. So what I mean by this is 9 hours. 9 hours. And this is 10 minutes. So the answer, you could leave it as 9 and 1/6 of an hour, or you could say 9, whoops. You could say that's 9 hours and 10 minutes. All right. A lot of calculations there. This one's a bit trickier than the others. Next one. If distance traveled by train is, so distance is given to, distance is given to us as 495. And the time is given to us as 4 hours and 30 minutes. 30 minutes is half an hour, so 4.5 hours. Put everything in terms of hours and the distance, put everything in terms of kilometers. Now we know speed is equal to distance divided by time. So what we're going to do is you're going to take 495 divided by 4.5. Now this will be pretty difficult to divide if you try to do it with decimals, but we're going to do it with fractions. It'll be a bit easier, hopefully. So let's try this one. This will be 495 over 1. You're dividing it by... Now we're going to change this one into improper fractions. So it will be 9 on 2. Okay, which is 495 divided by over 1, sorry, times it by 2 over 9. Okay. So now you can work this one out. Try and see if you can simplify, maybe try and see if you can divide this by 9. So divided by 9, get 1. Try and divide that by 9, see what you get. I think it should fit. So 495 divided by 9. 49 divided by 9 will be 5. 9 times 5 is 45. Take away, you get a 4, 45, so another 5. So there'll be 55. So that's 55. Alright. I think I did too much work for you there. So you should just get the answer here, whatever the answer is. And this answer will be your speed. So it'll be kilometers per hour. Okay, whatever that is. Question 5. A cyclist covers 950 meters in 5 minutes. Find his speed in kilometers an hour. So 950 meters in 5 minutes. Now I want to get to an hour, which is 60 minutes. So how do I go from 5 minutes to 60 minutes? And now I have so that will be what? Times 5 times what will give me 60? Times it by 12, which means I must times this by 12. So do 950 times it by 12, get the answer, and whatever the answer is, it'll be in meters. Okay, but they want it in kilometers. So whatever you get the answer here is going to be some big number. To go from meters to kilometers, we have to divide it by 1,000. Okay, so you divide it by 1,000, get the answer in kilometers per hour. Done. Question 6. The speed of the train is 72 kilometers per hour. Find its speed in meters per second. Okay, so again, we have this one is 72. Let me just put a little border so we know we're dealing with this question. So 72 kilometers per hour. We want it find it in meters per second. So let's change this one into meters first. Remember, we had to multiply 72 by 1,000, so we put 3 zeros. This would be in meters. And per hour, how many seconds in an hour? Let's change this one into seconds. So this would be 3,600 seconds. Something it'd be useful for you to remember that 1 hour is equal to 3,600 seconds. Okay, so now the question is how many meters in 1 second, per 1 second. How do we get from 3,600 seconds to 1 second? We divide it by 3,600. So on this side you must divide it by 3,600. And you will get the amount of seconds meters per second. Okay, that's not too hard. Question 7. Express the speed of 60 meters per minute in kilometers per hour. 60 meters per minute. Okay, so let me see. 60 meters per 1 minute, and we want to get it to per hour. Per hour means we're going to get it to 60 minutes. Or I can just write per hour. Per 1 hour. Now to go from 1 minute to 1 hour, I must multiply by 60, right? Which means I must multiply this by 60. And you'll get the answer here. Now remember that whatever answer you get in here, this is still in meters. You got to change it to kilometers. So you're going to have to divide it by 1,000. So you're gonna get something kilometers per hour. You have to work at that something. Question 8, a man runs at the speed of 10 kilometers per hour. How much time will he take to cover 750 meters? Okay, so you give him the speed. So speed is equal to 10. Okay. Remember, this is in kilometers. All right, and now, so that's 10. Now given the distance is equal to 750. Now this is kilometers, this is per hour, this is meters. Now we can't deal with these right away because they're different units. One is in kilometers, one is in meters. So what we're going to do is make them the same. So let's change maybe kilometers to meters, might be easier. So the speed will be, instead of 10 kilometers per hour, I'm going to say 10,000 meters per hour. All right, so now it's in meters, so I can just get rid of that. This will be 750. Now they're both in meters. All right, I can work with this now. So now I can apply the triangle formula, whatever it is. Distance over speed times time. So first we're looking for how much time. So that's when we're looking for time. So time is equal to, if you cross out the time, you're going to get distance divided by speed. And distance is equal to 750 divided by the speed, which is 10,000. Alrighty. What's the first thing we do? We have to get rid of the 0. So what we're going to have is 75 over 1,000. Now simplify this. I can divide the top and bottom by 5. So I divide this by 5. I'm going to get 15. Divide this by 5, I get 200. So this will be 15 over 200. I can divide it by 5 again. So this will be 3. This will be 100 divided by 5 would be 20. 200 divided by 5 must be 40. Okay, so 3 over 40. So that means this is 3 over 40. All right. So the time is equal to 3 over 40. Now 3 over 40 what? What's the time? This is in hours, right? 3/40 of an hour. Of an hour. 1 hour. So when you see this, what we're going to do is we're going to work out how many minutes this is. So let's change this one into minutes. So instead of saying 1 hour, I'm going to say 60 minutes. Okay, so let's rewrite this as 3 over 40. Of means times. 60 minutes is 60 over 1. Now we're going to work out how much minutes this is. So I'm going to cross out the zeros first. One from the top, one from the bottom. I'm going to cross out the 4 and the 6 and divide them both by 2. So this will be 2, this will be 3. So what this is going to be 3 times 3, which is 9, and 2 times 1, which is 2. So you're going to get 9 over 2 minutes. Or we could say this is exactly 4.5 minutes. There you go. Very tricky question, so I kind of gave you the answer there. Kind of. Actually, not kind of, exactly. I gave you the answer. Question 9. Aaron ran 500 meters in 100 seconds. Find the speed in kilometers per hour. Okay, so I'm going to write his speed here. 500 meters. He ran in 100 seconds. Now I want to find his speed in kilometers per hour. So I want to get to an hour. All right. So you can do this way. You can say, all right, I'm going to get to 3,600 seconds. Because this is basically 1 hour. Okay, I'm going to put in brackets 1 hour. This is the same thing. And I want to know what this amount is. How much meters? Once I know how much meters, I can turn it into kilometers. So, from this one, whoops. So from this to this, what did I multiply 100 by? Well, we multiplied by 36, didn't I? Which means I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Multiply by 36. What you're going to do is you're going to get some amount. I'm not going to work it out for you. You have to do this yourself. So you do 36 times 500. And you get some amount in meters. Then this you're going to have this amount of meters per hour. Okay, we figure, because this is in hours, so we be per hour. But we don't want meters per hour. We want kilometers an hour. So you're going to take this, you divide it by 1,000 to get to kilometers per hour. And there's your answer there. That's one way you can do it, or another way you can do it is this. Okay, I'm just going to show you another way. So rub that out. We've been doing two ways throughout this whole time. And sometimes I use one way, sometimes I use the other way, but they both work. So let's look at this one. Aaron ran this many meters. This is a distance, okay? This is your distance equals to 500 meters. And your time is given to us in 100 seconds, so that's 100 seconds. Find the speed in kilometers an hour. So what we can do is we can find a speed. We can find a speed in meters per second, because this is meters, this is a second. Then we can just convert it to kilometers an hour. You can do that too. That's the other way. So speed is equal to distance divided by time. So that's 500 divided by 100, which means that you travel at, let's zoom in here, cross out some zeros, and you got 5 over 1, which is just 5. So that means you travel at a speed of 5 meters per second. Okay, because we're dealing with meters and seconds, so that's 5 meters per second. Now, just change this one into kilometers per hour. So from seconds to hours, we multiply by 3,600. So you multiply that by 3,600, and you get some amount which will be in meters per hour. Then you divide the meters, whatever amount you get here, divided by 1,000, and you get kilometers per hour. Okay, same thing. All right, so there's two methods to do for all of these. Actually, I just chose sometimes I choose one method, sometimes I choose the other method, but there's always two methods here. Question 10. A cyclist travels at a speed of 20 kilometers an hour. How far will he travel in 50 minutes? So, okay, I will have a look at this and let me see. I'm gonna use this the triangle method. Okay. Now you got distance, speed times time. A cyclist travels at a speed. So speed is given to us as 20. Now, make sure this is the same units. This is kilometers per 1 hour, whereas this is in per minute. Okay, if they're different units, you must make them the same first before we can apply this triangle. Now, the question says how far, which means we're looking for a distance. So distance, we don't know what that is yet, but we must be given the time and the speed. So what's the time? The time is 50 minutes. This is 50 minutes. Which, alright, if that means that this is in hours and this is in minutes. So I gotta change one to the other. I can change it all in hours, or I can change all into minutes. So in this case, I'm gonna change all into hours. This is already in hours. Let's change this one into hours. So to change it into hours, we just divide it by 60 minutes. 60 minutes. Okay. So what that is 50 divided by 60. Now, I can cross out the zeros. And I can see that this is 5 over 6 of an hour. 5/6 of an hour. Now that they're both in hours, this is in hours and this is in hours, awesome. Now we can start using this triangle and work out the distance. Okay, well, distance is equal to, we cross out the distance and we get speed times time. So distance is equal to speed times time. Now the speed, what's the speed? Speed given to us is 20. So that's 20 times the time. What's the time? The time is given us is 5 over 6 of an hour. So we multiply by 5 over 6. Now this is 20 over 1. That's a whole number, so it's 20 over 1. Okay, so you work it out, you get whatever number you get, and this will be your kilometers per hour. Oh, sorry, no, it's not a speed. How far? Whoops, this will be in kilometers. Okay, there you go. You can do that one. On to the next page. An airplane flies 3,420 kilometers in 4 hours and 45 minutes. What is its average speed in kilometers per hour? So, what we're going to do is we're going to say plane flies okay, so this is the distance and this is the time. So the triangle is once again drawn, distance divided by speed times time, and we're asked to find what's the average speed. Okay, so we're looking for the speed. So speed, we cover up the speed here, we get speed equals to distance divided by time, and that is 3,420 divided by time. Now time everything has to be in the same unit. We can't have one that's hours and one that's minutes. Okay, so we're going to change everything into hours. So this is already in hours, perfect. This one needs to be in hours too. Now 45 minutes, we want to change 45 minutes into something of an hour. So the way we do that is we divide it by 60. Divide by total 60 minutes. See what fraction this 45 minute represents. So we can divide top and bottom by 5. Okay, so I can divide this by 5, divide this by 5, and I'll get 9 over 12. And now I can just divide this by 3, divide this by 3, and I will get 3 over 4. This is 3 quarters. 45 minutes is 3 quarters. So this is 4 and 3 quarters of an hour. So that means you have to divide this. Let me just write this here. This is what's the number again? 3,420 divided by 4 and 3 quarters. Right. Now we can divide this using fraction. This will be 3,420 over 1 divided by, now we're going to change this one to improper fraction. You're going to get 1619 on 4. Okay, there you go. Which means this is 3,420 over 1 times it by 4 on 19. Okay. I want to divide top and bottom by 19. Hopefully they will work out. So let's see. Let's see if I do 3,420. Let's see if I can divide it by 19. How many 19s in 34? 1. This will be 19. And we got 38, so 15, 152. Now 152 divided by 19, I believe would be maybe 8. Let's try 8 times 19. 8 times 9 is 72. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 5 is 152. Oh, perfect. So this will be 152 with a 0 remainder, so it's 180 because we got the last 0 goes back up there. So that means I can divide this by 19 and I'll get 1. Divide this by 19, I'll get 180. Okay, so we got 180 times it by 4 divided over 1. So that's just a whole number there. So you get the answer, and that's your average speed. So whatever answer you get for there for your 4 times 180, that'll be your average speed, kilometers per hour. Okay. Now I'm gonna rub this part out, so don't need this anymore. Alright, next one. A van moves with a constant speed of 64 miles an hour. how far can it travel in 1.5 hours? So, how far? So that means we're looking for the distance. Remember that distance is equal to speed times time. Speed is 64 miles an hour. Time is in how many hours we got? We got 1 hour and 30 minutes. So that's 1.5 hours. We got to change everything into hours. So this is 1 hour. This is half an hour. So 1.5. So 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Or let's just do 1.5 hours. So to find the distance is equal to 64 times by 1.5. Okay, you can work that out by yourself. Question 5. Pete rides his bike 80 kilometers in 4 hours. What's his average speed in kilometers? Alright, this is so easy. So we're asking for the speed. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. Distance is 80 kilometers. Time is equal to 4. Boom, answer. This will be in kilometers an hour. Done. Question 6. An airplane flies 800 blah 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 in 1.5 hours. What is his average speed in miles per hour? So speed again is distance divided by time. So that's 810 divided by 1.5. Now if you can't do this, then just do 810 over 1 divided by 1.5. Let's rewrite that as 810 over 1 divided by, change this one into improper fraction. This will be 3/2. That's the same as 810 over 1 times it by 2/3. You can probably cross out the 3 here and this one and divide it, see what you get. This will be 1, and that one 810, I think, let me see, 810 divided by 3, you get 2. This will be 6, 21, bring the 1, so this is 7, so 270. Alright, so that means this is 270 over 1 times by 2 over 1. Work out the answer, and that will be your speed, which is something kilometers an hour. Okay, done. Question 7. The distance between town A and town B is 120 kilometers. It took Alex 2 hours to go from A to B and only 3 hours on the return trip from B to A. So A to B, when Alex went there, it took him 2 hours. And then return trip was 3 hours on the same road. Let's see. Find the total distance and the total time. So total distance. Now the distance between A and B is 120 kilometers. So Alex went from A to B, then B to A. So he went 120 plus another 120. So you could say, oops. 120 plus 120 equals to 240 kilometers. He went a total of 240 kilometers distance. Total time taken is equal to 2 hours plus 3 hours. That's equal to 5 hours. Now the speed. Speed equals the distance divided by time, which equals to 240 divided by 5, and you're going to get some amount in kilometers per hour. Done. You can work that out. Question 8. The distance between town A and town B is 200 kilometers. A train left town A at 9 a.m. and arrived at town B at 1 p.m. What's the average speed? Okay. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is how many hours? We got 4 hours. The distance, so this is the time. Actually, I'll put time over here. Distance is given to us as 200. So the speed is equal to distance divided by time. And you can work it out, the speed. Speed equals to something kilometers per hour. Not too hard. Alright, let's see. We're going to go to... So this is page 9, which we've already done. And now we're going to go to page 10. Revision. Alright, so this one is 6.94, take away 3.7. Now there's no number after the 7, so we can put a 0 there. Work it out. Next one. Let me see. you can say this is 4 plus with 3 on 4 plus with 3 on 8. So let's work on this one together first, see what we get. See what these fractions add up to. So 3 and 4 plus 3 and 8. So let's turn this, make them the bottom number the same. Okay, so we can have what? We could say this is let's do this all this stuff in here first. So we got 3 on 4 plus 3 on 8. I want to change this one to 8, so times it by 2, times this by 2, you're going to get 6 on 8 plus 3 on 8, which equals to 9 on 8, which equals to 1 and 1/8, right? So remember, we have 4, so 4 plus with all of this, which is 1 and 1/8. So you're going to get 5 and 1/8, okay? Not too hard there. Next one, this is BODMAS, you can do that yourself. Now this one is same as 3 on 4, times it by 4. 4 is a whole number, so 4 on 1. Work it out, simplify it, get the answer. Next one, now, 900. Okay, so 9 times what will give me 900? This has to be 100. Right, so if this is 100, this number, 25 times something is 100. You can work out what that number is in the box, okay? This one, it looks like we are multiplying by 3, multiply by 3, so times it by 3, get me the next number. Question 7, half of this, so we do 16.68, we divide it, long division by 2, and you're going to get the answer 8 point something. You can work it out. Divide 20, question 8, divide 24 by, so we're going to do this, 24, we divide it by 1/4. Now remember, 24 is a whole number, so 24 over 1, so that means we can rewrite this as 24 over 1 times it by 4 over 1, because when you divide, you flip this and you turn this one into a times. Alright, and you can work out what that is. It'll be over 1. Whatever number this is a whole number, so that's just a number there. How many years in 4 scores and 8 years? Okay, so remember 1 score equals to 20 years. You can work out the rest. Now this one, this question again. Alright, so we got 7 hours and 45 minutes, and we're going to multiply them both by 8. So when you multiply it by 8, whoops, let's multiply them both by 8. Okay, so what's 7 times 8? 56 hours. Now, what's 8 times 45 minutes? So what's 4? Let me just work it out. 45 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 4 is 32. Plus 4 is 36. So this will be 360 minutes. Okay, together, how many hours is that all together? You can work it out there. How many hours is that? Find out how many hours this is. And then that's the answer there. In the triangle ABC, so imagine you have a triangle. Okay. And one angle is 64, the other angle is 47. What's the last angle? Okay. What we do know is that 64 plus 47 plus with this unknown angle is equal to 180, because inside of a triangle all the angles add up to 180. Now what does this 2 add up to? 4 plus 7 is 11, so 100 and is it 111? Yes, it is. Okay, so 111 plus with something equals to 180. I'm sure you can work out what this something is, not that hard. Now this 0.74 of 1 kilometer. Of means time. So what's 0.4 times by 1 kilometer? Let's turn this one into meters. This is 1,000 meters. So let's do 1,000 meters. And then work it out how many meters this is. So what happens when you multiply 0.74 by 1,000? Move decimal place to which direction and how many times? You can work that out. Change to improper fraction. Okay, I'm gonna let you do that by yourself. It's not that tricky. Question 14, speed. This speed is given, distance is given. How you find the time? So again, I would like to draw the triangle and have distance, speed, and time. To find the time, we cross out the time and we have this. So time is equal to distance over speed. See, distance over speed, right there. So now we just have to do, okay, distance given to us is 325. Speed is given to us 65. Simplify the fraction and work out the answer. And the answer is going to be in terms of hours. So whatever this is in hours. Next part, question 15. What part of 4.5 is 1.5? Okay. So to do this, you have to take, so imagine you have 4.5. This is 4.5, imagine. Okay, 4.5. Now it says what part is 1.5. So you have to take 1.5 and divide it by 4.5. So let me just rub that out. So we take 1.5, we divide it by 4.5. So here you have to change this one to improper fraction, change this one to improper fraction, and then divide the two numbers. Okay, two fractions, I mean. And you should know how to do that by now. Question 16. The area of a square sheet of cardboard is 225 meters squared. What is the length of one side? So imagine you have a piece of square. Oh, it didn't let me do a square. Okay. Oh, alright, fine, whatever. Imagine that's a square. The area equals to 225. So what number times what number? So what number, let me just write it. So what number squared will give me 225, okay? And whatever the number that is, that's the side length here. What is the side length? So you have to work it out. We know it can't be 10, because 10 squared is 100. We know it can't be 11, because 11 squared is 121. So what squared will give me 225? You have to work it out there. Alright, how many years in 0.1 of a century? Of means times, and a century is 100 years. So 0.1 times 100. Now this is in terms of years, by the way. So whatever the answer is, it'll be some amount in terms of years. Okay. So you multiply this by 100, so move decimal place around, okay? So just jump the decimal place and see what you get. Next question, question 18. 4 kilograms of beef costs this much, change from $20. So you get $20, take away $16.50. See what you get. Question 19. What number multiplied by 19 gives me 342? So I'm going to do this one at the bottom here. So you take 342 divided by 19. Alright, I'll leave that to you. Question 20. Because of the... Actually, I might help you. Alright, this one will be 1. 1 times 19 is 19. And this will be take away, and you get, how many? 15. 152. Alright, what's 152 divided by 19? Get that number, and that's the answer. Question 20. Because of the delay, the train from Orange was due to arrive at 1:25 a.m. If the railway clock reads 23:50, how long did Tom have to wait? Let's see. Because of the delay, the train from Orange was due to arrive at... If the railway clock reads... Okay. So this one here is 12 hours times 12 hours, and this is 24 hours. So we're going to change into both into let's change them both into 12 hours. Okay, so this one will be what time in 12 hours? This will be 11:50 p.m. So from 11:50 p.m. to 1:25 a.m. How long was the wait? How much time needs to pass to get from 1150 to 125. Okay, you can work that out, and that shouldn't be too tricky. Okay, hope the rest is okay, and I hope that helps.